everybody? Welcome back to the Grindhouse. Today I'm in Tucson because, and it's not a vlog. This is a review or something. It's a video series I'm gonna do where I talk about stuff. It's called Let's Talk. And people are probably gonna look at me because I'm recording myself sitting here in the car. Anyway, let's talk about Channel Zero. Now, if you don't know what Channel Zero is, it's a show on the Sci-Fi Channel based on creepypastas. It's been running since 2016, and it's got a lot of creepypasta fans shooken. Let me explain why. Some creepypasta fans like to say, "Oh, it doesn't stay true to the creepypasta format," and then there's those who actually like the show, like me, that are like, "Hey, I think you guys are just being a bunch of babies. You're being a bunch of babies." And then they're like, "No, because we know how to write a good creepypasta, and they don't." And then we're just like, yeah, because the professional writers don't know how to write something good. That makes total sense. But it's just like, why you care that much? Okay, you don't have to watch it. It's just like, you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna reach anybody. It's like your choice to watch the thing or not. You don't have to watch it. But they decided to freaking cry about it anyway. Here's the thing about Channel Zero. Okay, when it started, its first season was based off the story Candle Cove. And if you know anything about creepypastas, you know that Candle Cove is possibly one of the most famous creepypastas of them all. And I'm sorry to say that I read the story and I didn't like it. It's a cool concept. It is really a cool, awesome concept for a short story, but all these people are looking at me. Anyway, it's an awesome concept for a short story, but it was just how they presented it was so boring and bland to me. It was just like they decided, let's take this awesome sounding story and make it one of the most boring things you can probably think of. And I was just so sad because honestly, it is an awesome concept, but it was just how they presented it. Let me clean the lens just for a little bit. How they presented it was just so boring and bland, and the characters I didn't really care for, and it was like, oh my god. And then the show came out, and I was like, hey, maybe I have hope. Maybe they'll do something with it. And they did for me. They made it more creepy. They made it more original, less boring, and I wasn't bored. I actually wanted to see what happened. I cared for the characters. I liked how they presented the show, the Candle Cove show. And I liked the art house weird moments because that just added on to the creepiness, the creepy psychological feeling that the show was trying to give. I liked it. So, sorry if you guys like the creepypasta but hated the show because it didn't stay true to the creepypasta. Sorry if you guys like the creepypasta but hated the show because it didn't stay true to the creepypasta. In my opinion, I think it did the creepypasta more justice than anything could. I think it did it like something better. It made the story more likable for me. And then No End House came out, and I have to say, No End House was a really cool one to me. It was a really cool story, and it was a really cool read. I wasn't bored like Candle Cove. And I think it did it justice. I think Channel Zero did No End House some justice. I honestly do. And again, I like the weird David Lynch moments, and a lot of people hate them because people don't know that much about what goes in the film. So that's what I always see. Whenever a film does an artistic approach that actually shows that filmmaking is an art, people just hate it because it's like, it wasn't meant to be fun. Like, it... Oh my god, did people actually see that? But it's because people just like... That's why people like to watch those stupid Pitch Perfect movies, because they're not art. They're just something fun, and it's just like, to me, it's an embarrassment to filmmakers, because filmmakers, like, we acknowledge filming as an art, and whenever... Anyway, whenever a film comes out and it's like it just destroys what filmmaking was about, then it's just like, you know, it makes us sad. It makes a lot of us sad. And you know, we all have a different interpretations of what art could be. Some of it can be what I find to be stupid, and some of it can be actually pretty good. And you know, go figure, if you guys, you know, like art, like films that don't represent art, then that's your guys' opinion. But you know, I think the art house moments in Channel Zero kind of add on to the creep factor. It adds on to the creepiness of the whole story, and it just makes it a little more weirder, but also makes me more intrigued to see what happens next. So I thought, I didn't finish No One House. I don't know why. All the episodes got deleted off my DVR, so I didn't get to finish it. But it did leave an impact on me, and I thought, yeah, I loved Candle Cove the first season, but I loved No One House even more, to the point where when it comes out on DVD, because you know they do that for each season, I would probably want to own it. Now, yes, last night, or whenever you guys are going to watch this, I watched Butcher's Block, which is the new season of Channel Zero. And this time, the first creepypastas they adapted into film, or into the seasons, they were well-known ones, mostly, like throughout the entire internet. But now they took a creepypasta that nobody really knows anything about. A lot of people don't even know exists. It's called Search and Rescue Woods, and they adapted it into a season called Butcher's Block. And I never read this one because me, just like everyone else, has never heard of this creepypasta before. We've never heard of it. And so we're just like left wondering, what the hell is this? We never heard of this. Now I kind of want to read it, because my DVR skipped the very first episode, so I didn't even know what was going on. I just know a lot weird stuff was happening. But like, if you thought the episodes from the previous seasons had a lot of art house like scenes, moments, oh boy, wait until you see this. Almost every, at least, like, they have a whole episode mostly full of art house like things. And it reminds me of a David Lynch movie, and I love it. I mean, I love David Lynch, okay? So that's why I was just in awe, because I remember I was getting interest. Now, I'm gonna get a video about this too, about Twin Peaks. I was getting interest in rewatching Twin Peaks. And then I watched this, and it's something like that. And I was like, oh my god, did David Lynch create and like write and direct this episode? Like, what the hell? I was just in awe. I was just happy. I don't know. I was happy because I saw Black Panther the same night. And I come home and we decided, let's just watch this because we haven't seen it. And it's been on here for a week. I was just so happy. I was happy with myself. I was like, alrighty, I like this season so far. It makes me want to search for that story, which I did, but I just never read it. I actually did find it on the internet because I wanted to read it before the season came out, but I just never did. But now I actually want to read it because, oh boy, the season kind of takes like this Alice in Wonderland approach. It's like very Alice in Wonderland-esque. Like the Mad Hatter, you know, all that stuff. It's like there's a lot of moments in this episode, most specifically because the episode's called Father Time or something like that. There's so many moments in this episode that remind me of Alice in Wonderland, and it's just so weird and amazing, and it's like, oh my god. And I actually watched this show with my dad, because there's a lot of shows, like either I'll watch by myself, or I'll just sit down and watch with my dad. And it's one of those shows, and we were just like, what the hell is going on here? And it was like, we love it. I love it, at least. I love weird stuff. I love when these movies and stuff like that are just weird and everything. I just love it. Sorry, I'm looking at a dog. But anyway, I loved it. I loved every minute of Butcher's Block. And, you know, for people, like, I can see people don't like this show because of it doesn't stay true to the format of creepypastas. Well, sorry, but first of, I just think, like, unlike other adaptations, creepypastas aren't like a groundbreaking thing. So no matter how many times you cry about it on the internet, not that many people are gonna care, because this show's getting views and it's getting a lot of followers. A lot of people are starting to love it and seeing how amazing it is. And because of that, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. So yeah. Unlike books like Stephen King's It, Ready Player One, Clockwork Orange, unlike books like that, creepypastas aren't groundbreaking. They're not groundbreaking at all. I'm sorry, but they're not. They're not something groundbreaking or anything. And that's why it's just like you're wasting your time by crying about how this show's supposedly ruining the creepypasta, like creepypastas now and stuff. You're crying about it, and you're kind of like wasting your time. So if you liked it, good. I'm glad you liked it. If you don't, well, then you don't. And you know, I like it, okay, because I think it takes some of the most, like, either some of the most unknown creepypastas or some of the most boring creepypastas and makes it and adds onto it. Does something that the creepypasta didn't. So yeah, I like this show, and I plan on reviewing more than just movies. I want to review like short films and YouTube videos, and I also want to review TV series. Like this, I want to review Channel Zero. I'm gonna give this series, so far it has my interest. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I don't see any problems with the series. It has my interest, and to me, it's awesome. And I guess next, I'm going to have to review Twin Peaks. Yay! Until then, I'll see you guys next time. And remember, please hit that big red subscribe button. Also, give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next time. Remember, my grindhouse is always open. Goodbye.